What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. We got Team Diamond 2 content, whether you like these cards or not. I'm going to be going through about 7 or 8 of them because, of course, every YouTuber is going to be doing rankings, tier lists of all 32. You guys can go check out their videos. I'm going to be picking my 7 or 8 favorite cards. I'm also going to be going through kind of what to do with our investments, trading market impacts, and all that fun stuff. So let's not waste any time. Hop right into it. Untitled Roll, and you're going to notice cards that are getting upgraded are the Campus Hero 1s, Team of the Week Legends, and Legends themselves are getting a lot of upgrades within this program. A lot of recycled players, but it's what it is. Untitled Roll, 94 speed. He always has good height and size for a corner. I want to say 6'1 or 6'2. Untitled Roll. Jackie Slater, the father of Matthew Slater. You know, the one, I think, future Hall of Famer in Matthew Slater on the Patriots. Jackie Slater, he will be the best overall right tackle in the game at 96 overall. Powered up over the likes of Nate Soldier and the new heavyweight right tackle. So that's really cool to see a new best player at a certain position. Kevin Green, he is one card that is not lacking for speed, I'd say, at his position. 91 speed, 94 finesse move. Power move is a little bit underwhelming, but decent block shed. And I'll go through actually the theme teams at the end of these cards. I'll have a chart up and we can kind of talk about it. Warren Sapp. Now, Warren Sapp, when he first came out in the game as a legend, he was a game wrecker at defensive tackle. Of course, Raiders theme team, which is very important. 75 speed is a little bit underwhelming for really a very athletic player at his size. 96 power move, 95 block shed, a very, very good card. Lem Barney getting upgrade from his Team of the Week legend. The only downside with Lem Barney, 84 press, 94 speed. I will say it's a little underwhelming considering his 92 had, I think, 92 speed or 93 speed. So not the greatest upgrade when it comes to the athletic traits. Curtis Martin, though, and this next running back we're also going to talk about. These cards, I think, are probably the best cards we got in this promo. I know they're running backs, but 94 speed, elusive back archetype is also very, very good. Solid break tackle, solid change of direction. Catching doesn't matter. Just throw backfield master on them or backfield mismatch. They'll catch everything. And then Priest Holmes, 94 speed, of course, Chiefs theme team, Ravens theme team. I think these are two really solid running backs that actually contend with the likes of Fred Taylor, Thurman Thomas, Walter Payne, Adrian Peterson. They match up to them speed-wise, whereas a lot of the wide receivers and cornerbacks and safeties in this program, like Andre Johnson with 94 speed, that's not bad, right? Andre Johnson, of course, really good route running, physical archetype, but the problem is, like, on the likes of Ronnie Harrison, who only has a 91 speed, he just doesn't match up to any safety that has dropped in the past month, pretty much. So he's almost unusable, maybe even on a theme team. That's scary to say. And the master, Luke Kuechly. Now, Luke Kuechly, awesome card. 95 speed, 95 zone coverage, 98 hit power. But we know linebackers to just not jump in Madden for the last couple of years. So unless you put Lurker on Luke Kuechly, who's not the tallest player, remember that. I don't know, the demand for Luke Kuechly, I'm not going to be doing the Team Diamond grind like I did for Dan Marino. His card just isn't, it's not going to get me onto Madden to want to pick him up or anything, nothing too crazy. But theme team wise, you can see some of the best teams that got upgraded. The Miami Dolphins got a bunch of players. The Chargers, you could say, but Ronnie Harrison, John Mackey weren't the best. Raiders, Warren Sapp with Phillip Buchanan. Chiefs, of course, got some really, really good players. Houston Texans. I was thinking of going to the Seattle theme team, and then they only get Sean Alexander, so I'm a little bit disappointed with that. And then also some other news for Good Morning Madden. The LTDs will be revealed Thursday morning. Reduxes, like I said, 95 Reduxes, and I think Blitz Reduxes are coming this Friday. Gridiron Forge is also dropping tomorrow in the game, so make sure you finish, or Gridiron Forge 5, so make sure you finish up Gridiron Forge 4. And we got the Playoff Release 2, or content coming Friday, but the reveal coming Thursday morning and probably in the afternoon. So hey, we got a bunch of content. Team Diamond 2, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like they made these cards a while back. I'm really hoping they update the more speed, because speed is everything, right? If your card cannot, especially at the skill positions, if your card's not up to speed, it's just, it's not gonna, I don't know how to say it, but it's just, you can't use them really in game without a theme team, and you shouldn't be required to run a theme team to make a card actually kind of usable in game against some of the other better cards. So I'm hoping EA kind of goes back in the office tonight, realizes, hey, the speed stats and the athletic attributes of a lot of these players just aren't up to par with the cards we're releasing in the past month, right? The ghost cards are all better stat wise than these cards. It's just, I love the names, I love the idea behind it. I know it's more recycled legends, but just make them to where they're on par to where all the wide receivers are fine, but a lot of the safeties, man, Ronnie Harrison at 91 speed is just, he's almost unusable. I don't know how to say that with a brand new card, but he almost is unusable, even on a theme team. He's going to have, what, 93 speed, 94 speed, so 96 speed on a 50 out of 50 theme team, which is just, it's just not that good. Calvin Johnson gets that stock. I don't know. That's my opinion when it comes to the theme diamonds. Let me know down below what you guys think. We can't be mad, though, because we have a bunch of content coming out. We got Playoffs Part 2, Team of the Year, bunch of stuff coming out. So this is kind of just, hey, it's the start, it's whatever. But when to buy Team Diamonds, because there is not a plan, but there's definitely a right and a wrong time to buy Team Diamonds, and I learned this in actually Team Diamond 1. So if you notice last year, or not last year, in Team Diamond 1, the cards you'll see, they get, especially the Team Diamonds, not the power-ups, the Team Diamond. The Team Diamonds tend to get really flooded on to the market on the first day. Why? Because everyone is rushing to do the master set. So they're completing the sets and they're trying to sell off the pieces as fast as they can to get their coins back. And I'll go through a couple examples like Thurman Thomas and Phil Simms. But Thurman Thomas on day 1 was actually like 190k. And then on day 2, he spiked back up to about, I want to say 240, if that's right, on MutGG. But yeah, most of these cards, like the Team Diamonds, the cards especially, now not the super high meta, we'll talk about that, but the base kind of just generic Team Diamond cards get flooded onto the market. Day 1, the best time to buy is going to be in the afternoon. That's kind of when everyone is going to be starting to finally complete the sets. Phil Simms, for example, and a lot of the 90 overall Team Diamonds, when they actually dropped, were the cheapest trading. That's why Phil Simms went from 154k, and that was the cheapest trading at the time, and then he went up to like 170, 180. So a lot of the guys that are not the best cards in the game, the Ronnie Harrisons, the very average players, hopefully their training value at 95 at training, I think it's like 125, 130k. Hopefully they're around that price. But for the generic Team Diamonds, you're actually going to pick them up, especially if you want them for your team, day 1. That's kind of weird to say. Normally it's, hey, you're going to wait a few days, but for the very average players, you're going to want to pick up day 1. Now the meta players are a little bit different because their demand is crazy. Cards like Aqib Talib in Team Diamonds 1, Deuce Staley, they were super expensive day 1, and kind of just as the days went on, as we got new cards, especially because we're getting Team of the Year, those cards will drop. So of course, if you want to pick them up day 1 for Weekend League, of course do so, but you have to understand that the Team of the Year drop on Tuesday, Monday will probably tank their prices. Now for power-ups, it's the complete opposite. It's pretty much they get right away when they're put into the game from the sets. The new power-ups like the Joe Montana, those power-ups that are new players, they're going to be super expensive, of course, the first day, and every day after they're just going to drop. So you kind of just a timing thing, like, hey, when do you want to buy the card or buy the power-up to use in Weekend League, or do you just not want to roll with the power-up all weekend? So big thing to note for the when to buy Team Diamonds: average cards and training discard cards, you're going to want to buy day 1, preferably in the afternoon, right around when they kind of reveal the playoff part 2 promo. I'm guessing we'll get the LTD and the Masters or the Champions in the afternoon as well. So that's when to buy those cards. For the meta cards, I'd say for the likes of, I mean, there's not really many meta cards in this promo, but the right tackle, I'd say like Jackie Slater, maybe Untitled Roll, Curtis Martin. If you want to buy them for Weekend League, of course, you can do day 1, and you just got to understand that when Team of the Year drops, those cards are going to be replaced within the meta, and they'll drop in price, whereas the average cards, which aren't even in the meta to start with, their price won't be affected by better cards because there's already better cards in the game than them. And then power-ups, of course, longer you wait, the cheaper they are going to be. So that's when to do, or when to buy Team Diamonds, when to, of course, buy the power-ups. Now, when to sell off investments, because if you were lucky enough to watch the video I uploaded this morning, I was saying like, hey, I love buying any 89 to 93 overall Campus Hero Legend or Team of the Week Legend that hadn't gotten upgraded, and I got really lucky with my purchases. I picked up guys like Lem Barney just for training discard, players like, I think I picked up a Delta O'Neal 5 minutes before the reveal for 60,000 coins, something insane. Now, when to sell off these investments, all right? And we always talk about with our investments, we want the cards when they get upgraded to be affordable, so a lot of the Madden community can actually buy them on the market, and they need to be good, so the demand will be high. The price has to be low, and the card has to be good. The problem with Team Diamonds is the cards aren't that good unless they change the stats. The cards aren't that good, and let's be honest, they're probably going to be overpriced off rip because the sets, we don't know how the sets are going to work, but the sets kind of just force the cards to be a little bit expensive. Hopefully they're trading discard, but I expect kind of the 95 overalls to be a little bit overpriced. So what does that mean for their pieces to power them up? In my opinion, and I'm always, if you follow the channel, you kind of know, I always usually wait until the cards actually get put into the game, because then it, of course, takes the baby pieces off the market. But for this, I'm selling, man. Like a lot of these guys, like Ronnie Harrison, I bought for 45 or under 40,000 coins, under 45,000 coins 2 weeks ago. He's going for 85, 90k, and his card is just not that good. Like, who is actually going to go out of their way to really target a Ronnie Harrison? Doubling your investment, tripling your investment on a lot of these guys, I think is perfectly fine. Priest Holmes, now Priest Holmes is a little bit different, because Priest Holmes I think is a good card, and he's at like 60, 70k. I'm going to wait to try to get 75k for him. it's kind of a feel out process. It's a very gray area because we have not invested into Team Diamond upgrades before. Of course, Team Diamond 1 were all new cards. There's nothing to invest in. This is a brand new territory for us. But man, like Delta O'Neal, for example, like he's a good corner, but he's not a game-breaking corner. I picked him up for 65k. He's up for like 130. I think I listed mine for 139. I'm just gonna sell. Like for a lot of these Team of the Week guys, for example, who I'm trying to think of some other guys. Of course, you have Lem Barney, like Joey Porter. Joey Porter is not a game-breaking card. He went from, I was buying him for 34k today. He's up to 85, 90k. I'm on the train of just selling. Of course, I'm gonna be live streaming Twitch. I think about an hour after this upload, so we can talk about it. But normally I say hold, but for these cards, just they aren't that good, and the demand for them isn't gonna be crazy. The price, they aren't gonna be super cheap. I'm of the kind of idea of just selling off the cards. Now for the campus heroes, like Rerolls, now he is a very good card, like the Vince Young. I still want to get like 50-60k for them because I think they can, because of course their demand for them is going to be just a little bit more. Rerolls and Vince Young I'm going to hold on to, try to get, I would say, at least above 50,000 coins. For the legends, like Kevin Green, now Kevin Green is actually a good card, but still, I just don't think these cards, the demand for them, especially if we're getting like playoffs part 2 right away, their cards are probably, I'm guessing playoff part 2 is a little bit better, not much better, but I'm of the idea of just selling off these cards. Curtis Martin, like Priest Holmes, I actually am going to try to wait and get 90k because I think his card is very good. But Joe Thomas, for example, I bought for 60,000 coins. He's only up for 66k. For him, actually, I'm going to try to hold and get 80 to 90k. But for most of the cards, hey, I'd say just sell, take your profit. Let's move forward. This was kind of a really short-term buy window for the Team Diamonds, and we got really lucky. I would say like 60% of the cards I bought today that were in preparation for Team Diamonds actually got upgrades, which is really crazy. I got lucky with some of my kind of fluke buys. Now, when to sell off cards that didn't get cards, like Charles Woodson, for example. Reggie Bush is one of the main cards I invested in, but I bought Reggie Bush, all those for under 43k, so he hasn't really moved. Now, if you need the coins, of course, sell back. Like, be patient, sell over the weekend. The market will slowly rise over the weekend in anticipation of Team of the Year, with training demands coming from LTDs in the playoff rerolls, and then, of course, Team of the Year rerolls. So the market overall as a whole will probably slowly rise over the weekend, unless we, I'd say, get MUT rewards, but that's still, I think the market is still going to be rising. So for the majority of the cards, I'm actually just going to be holding on to for like Super Bowl playoff or Super Bowl content or potential playoff champions like Charles Woodson, Teddy Bruschi, cards like that. I'm just holding on to Mike Haynes. If you need the coins back, just slowly sell off over the weekend. But of course, if you were investing in those cards, I'd say you needed a good stack in the first place. You shouldn't be really grasping for coins just because they failed as investments. But that's kind of what I'm doing with the L investments. They're kind of just sitting my binder. Training is not going to go down. It can't go down any further from 4.5, so they can't get really any cheaper. I'm just holding, going to wait for them to get hard and then sell them off. Now, again, we did not get a training variety or a announcement of a training variety pack. We don't know what the sets look like. I'm hoping the sets are a generic elite for each team, and that will kind of force their hand to put out a training variety pack. So again, you can still, it's a little bit harder. The prices have already started to rise a little bit, but training under 4.5 per, I still love. You guys can see my coins. Go back to last video, go back to the video. Even this morning, I was at like 31 mil. I spent like 14-15 mil this morning. Now, a lot of those were Team of the Year investments like Patrick Surtain and even JT and Cooper Kupp, because, well, we got the Team of the Year or the Team of the Week make right, so made Patrick Surtain really cheap. But I'm still buying training at 4.5 per because we just have so many opportunities. There's so many demand spikes that will positively improve training value, being, of course, potential of a training variety pack, playoff LTD and rerolls this weekend most likely, and then Team of the Year next Tuesday, which we know Team of the Year last year kind of really spiked training because you can just do rerolls for Team of the Year players, and they're the best players in the game. It just makes training rise a little bit. So I'd still target 4.5 or under coins per at the training value. But that is all for the video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of the Team Diamond 2. I'm really hoping they look at the cards and the stats, kind of the community feedback when it comes to all these cards, and upgrade the stats, especially the physical attributes like speed. So hey, we'll see though tomorrow morning. Good morning, man. There's a lot of stuff. Hopefully I don't know if we're gonna get all the playoff part 2 reveal in the morning or if some will be in the afternoon, but that is all for this video. Comment, like, subscribe, of course. Link to Discord in the description. I'll be streaming a little bit, like an hour after this video uploads. I gotta eat and then I'll hop on. We can talk about the market, but until then, peace.